So friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's session, something more interesting, more important thing in continuation to the earlier video. Please continue with us. Some common example of risk. Project purpose and need is not well defined. Even I don't know what is the project purpose, what is the battery limit, where I need to talk, what I need to do, what I need to do. So that is not well defined in the contract. Then there is a risk. Project design and deliverables definition is also incomplete. So what is the battery limit of design up to which maybe for one machine, one heat exchanger we are actually designing. So what will be the design scope, the material supply of material scope, and what kind of material will be used. Every tidbit thing from which approved list of vendors are there or not. So everything is to be there in the design. If that is not clearly mentioned in the design, then what will happen, during execution or after handing over, during handing over, your deliverables will not fulfill the contract. That means it is incomplete and there is a risk. Project schedule is not clearly defined or understood. Project schedule means the timeline. Every project is have a timeline. There is a start date, there is a close date, there is a end date. So that schedule has to be there. That actually schedule and that milestone achievement, everything has to be mentioned clearly in that contract. Otherwise, what will happen? There will be a risk. Then no control over staff priorities. If the staff is not actually capable to handle that particular responsibility of what he has has been allotted, then what will happen? He cannot control over the activities. So that activities which has to be reared up as per the contract clause and all in line with the project, he cannot deliver, then there is a risk. Then that project will get delayed. Consultant or contractor delays. Contractor performance is not actually up to the mark, is not in line with the project requirement, or consultant is unable to deliver their thing, means they are taking so much time for say soft drawing making from design drawing making. Then what will happen? Within 6 months the project is there, we need to complete, and he is giving drawing at third month or at the end of third month. Then what will happen? When we will purchase for that material, when we will start for the fabrication, when we will do that erection, when we will attain that punch point and then handing over of the project. So if he need to hand over, he need to complete the drawing, all type of drawing, all type of design within 1 month, means he need to follow that stipulated time. Otherwise that project will get delayed. So that is a risk also. Estimating and scheduling errors. Suppose the expert who has done this estimation, he himself has done a mistake, and what happened? He actually has written in the contract that this is as per shooter site, or the person who has done the site visit, that means feasibility, he has done some mistake, he has avoided, he has oversighted or overlooked something which was needed to be considered actually. Then what will happen? During the execution, that cost may go high. That additional cost, where from it will come? It will come, it will nowhere it will come, it will affect that cash flow also. So that is a risk. Unplanned work that must be accommodated. Unplanned work means nobody knows the work sequences. One person who is the project manager or construction manager in that particular project or leader in that particular project, he need to know the critical path. If some of the activities of the critical path are not being added in time, then the project will get delayed. It is there, we know everywhere. Everyone, we know this thing. So if we are giving priority which is not in critical path, that may be delayed for 2 days or 3 days, but we are not giving priority in that critical activities in which is lying on the critical path, then what will happen? Your project will get delayed. Lack of communication, that is very important thing in this construction industry or manufacturing industry, any kind of business. Communication is very important. Exactly what we need to communicate at the rate of quantity amount, time, that clarification should be there. No confusion should be there. Or else what will happen? For my experience, I am giving one example. Suppose there was a project which was actually in Btech, and another one project was there in Anugul, Busan. Actually, it is in Odisha. Okay, so some of the scrap material actually for steel was there in in Anugul, Odisha. Okay, so they tried to dispose this thing, but before that they what happened? They actually tried to utilize this thing for actually avoiding this thing, wastage of material. That is not a national wastage, nothing but the national wastage. And what they have done the thing to they have communicated to that head office that was in Chennai head office. Okay, for example, and then head office transferred that message, communicated that message to hijack project people. So there is some scrap material, you can utilize this thing for your project. And what happened, hijack steel plant was having requirement, project actually was having requirement some kind of scrap plate, for packing plate below the column it will be placed there. That was size actually, minimum size was 200 by 200 or 200 by 400 also they can cut the material. Okay, what happened, these Odisha people, Angul project department, they have not mentioned. They have mentioned we are having this much of tonnage, this is the thickness, this is the section of scrap, but what is the size they have not mentioned. Then they have transferred, everything has opened, has been followed. They have transferred through that head office, and when it reached to the Vizag side, they found that no material, nothing else, maybe 20% or 10% was usable. Balance 70 to 80% materials was not actually required for them. Then what happened? This transportation cost, time, everything goes into water. So time is a money that also goes gone into water, and everything, every effort, tidbit, everything. So the communication is very important, and there should not be any kind of gap in communication. Pressure to arbitrarily reduce task durations and run tasks in parallel. It is a very important point. Many times what happen, we actually used to observe that customer is unnecessarily giving pressurized to the subcontractor or contractor for completing that project within the time which is not possible. Then what happen? In that case, risk will be involved. If we are not following the risk, maybe height works we are doing in the name of hurry, in the name of fast work, if we are not following the safety parameters, we are not following, we are not wearing safety harness, safety belt, or we are not actually doing actual working platform and or access everything, then what will happen? In the hurry, that person will go on the top and he will fall down, or anything can happen. So pressurize to arbitrarily reduce task duration or run task in parallel, which is also a reason for risk. Scope creep, that is already I told. Project conflicts not resolved in a timely manner. Suppose there is a conflict. Actually, this is a very big subject, that contract management, conflict management, and then claim management. I will come to this point in other video, in other day. For that session also we will have a study on that thing. But just briefly I am telling, project is having a conflict means project is having some part, that project tendering bidding, project contract starts from tendering bidding, then special condition, general condition of contract, some letters and all, then MOM copy, then special condition of contract, then mail copy, everything. These are the these are the actually parts of the contract. And in the contract, that is called order of precedence. If order of precedence means which actually we need to look. If suppose there is one clause. I am giving one example, then it will be very much easy for your understanding. Suppose there is one clause, one sentence that supply of drinking water will be in contractor scope. Supply of drinking water will be in customer scope. Okay. Now, or supply of electrical power, supply of electrical power, construction power, rather I should say construction power will be in customer scope. Fine, no problem. It is written in the general condition of contract. But see, if you go point by point, comma by comma, line by line in that thing, then what is written? Again I am telling, supply of a construction power will be in customer scope. But okay, from which place to which place? Up to DB, main distribution unit, up to working place, or up to sub DB? It is not mentioned. Maybe he will give that power from their transformer, which is actually 1 kilometer from your yard, or from your execution yard, fabrication yard, or erection places. Then what will happen? 1 kilometer, particularly for that 1 kilometer, you have to lay down the electrical cable, maybe HT cable or whatever is. Okay, so that cost is there, involved is there. So that is the conflict. And conflict where arises? If there I am not getting 100% understanding from the contract. It is there in that general condition of contract. If and contract can be interpreted, not be read. Contract can be read as a whole. It is said. Okay. So you cannot go in any decision. You cannot reach in any decision by reading only one clause in that general condition of contract. You have to read what has been written in that special condition of contract also. There may be written that the power, that electrical power or construction power will be given up to dB. So you have to read that thing. Even that is also not mentioned in the special condition of contract, which superseded the general condition of contract. Then you can write a mail, write a letter, actually from the authorized person to the authorized person, okay, through proper channel. Then there will be a conflict arises. So that should be resolved in time, or if there will be delay in decisiveness, then what will happen? Construction power ही नहीं है तो fabrication कहाँ से करेगा? Any execution will not be happen. Then project get delayed. Construction schedule will be affected. So that is very important thing. It should be resolved in timely manner. Business case becomes obsolete or is underdetermined by external or internal changes. So there are lot many example for this. For example, HMT wristwatch, which is obsolete today. Okay. For example, Nokia, Nokia mobile. In earlier stage, we only knew about this Nokia mobile. Then when smartphone came, then this Nokia mobile disappears like a dinosaur. So we need to know the market needs and expectation. Otherwise, it will be a threat for the business, and dhire dhire we will go obsolete. Delay in earlier project phases. Then for example, delivery in just in time material, that is nowadays it is also a very important thing. Japanese word that is called JIT, just in time. Even if we are actually ordering some pizza for delivery, if we is not able to deliver that pizza within the time, we are not paying to them. So that the just in time, that is also there. Added workload, time work requirement, new direction policy, maybe the policy changes. Suppose government actually tomorrow government will imply any kind of extra taxes, like earlier it was there, that is called entry taxes. So we have taken a project for, say we have taken a project in Karnataka. There is no entry taxes, state taxes actually, and suddenly after government change, then new government came and they actually applied something like entry taxes. Then the project is already going on. Then what will happen? Our project cost will get increased. Inadequate customer testing lead. Customer may be having some other vested interest also, or may not be having. But if is not competent, then there is also problem. He doesn't know what is to be done, how to be done, what need to be done, then what will happen, then there is also a problem. So customer is need to be in line with the project. They also need to be literate as per the project requirement. Legal action delays or pauses project. This is also very big subject. I will come in other video, that is legal aspect in project management or construction management. That is also a very big point. So many things are there, like labor law, then EHS law, environmental health safety policy law, minimum wages act. So many acts and laws are there. So that needs to be taken care, otherwise there is a risk. If we are not paying the minimum wages to the worker as per the state wages rule, for example, high skilled, skilled, semi skilled, unskilled, then what will happen? So that is a risk for the company. We are violating the legal aspect. Customer refuses to approve deliverables, milestone, delay in approval, non-decisiveness for customer also having some major reason for the risk. Theft of material, intellectual property or equipment. For example, theft of material, if you are not putting any kind of security guard, then if the theft will also be there, then if we are having the insurances, we can claim the insurances. If there is no security guard, we cannot claim the insurance, because first of all, insurance people will ask you whether you have put that security or not, how it has been stolen, whether you have given that boundary wall or not. So many things will be there. We need to take action accordingly. And then act of God, which is not in our hand. Act of God and extreme weather lead to loss of resources. But there is a confusion in this act of God. You cannot say the heat and under the scorching temperature, under the scorching heat, if you are working in Barmer project, which is in Rajasthan. Okay, so it is already well known that there will be a heat. There will be a heat like this. You are working in Rajasthan, which is very nearby the Thar desert. So that you cannot say act of God. If you are working in Meghalaya, so more than 6 months or 8 months that rainfall will be there. So that rainfall is there. You cannot say it is an act of God. Okay. So there is a confusion that need to be actually what should I say, that need to be settled in between the customer and conductor. Unavailability of sufficient amount of skilled labor, that is also very important. Today it is a major issue, not only labor, staff also. Unavailability of sufficient professional and managers. So friends, with this we are concluding here. I hope you understand whatever I have been tried to delegate it to you. And for next session, please stay with us.